Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my PSN Trophy Collection 2021 update. A lot of games been played in the past year, I'll tell you that. A lot of trophies unlocked too. Let's have a look. Last time I left you was Resident Evil. By the way, link in the description to previous ones. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. As you can see, 100% every single thing done. I don't think I like the story of South Park: The Fractured Butthole quite as much as The Stick of Truth, but I do prefer the combat, and the writing is still on point. Fantastic game. I don't think that there's ever going to be a third South Park game because of the huge undertaking game development is. But South Park: The Stick of Truth and South Park: The Fractured Butthole. As a South Park fan, so happy, got not one but two excellent games. The Last of Us Part 2. Don't worry folks, by the way, any of these that have potential story spoilers of recent games, like this and Ghost of Tsushima, I won't go into any of the main trophies like this. I won't click on that. I won't accidentally spoil stuff for you. So yeah, that's the main game, did everything, and then here's the grounded mode and permadeath. Now, when I did The Last of Us, I then did a Platinum Journey bonus episode tackling The Last of Us on Grounded, because when I made the original Platinum Journey episode, there was no Grounded for The Last of Us, there was only Survivor. Much like I've done an episode about this, and then afterwards, here comes Grounded. I was firmly against doing a bonus episode on Grounded, because I was just, I don't know. Not anytime soon, I don't want to revisit that world yet. Combat is damn good, and I would be interested in seeing how to get around certain encounters without engaging at all. I know that there are ways of stealthing a lot of the game, and I'd be interested to kind of learn that bit. I did try and do a playthrough just casually on Grounded. Well, not casually, just in my own spare time. But the reason why I stopped... Loading screens. In the first 15 minutes of the game, it was half just looking at loading screens. I was like, okay, maybe on PS5 at a later date, not on a PS4. I don't want to watch those cutscenes again. I do want to go through the gameplay again though. So maybe at some other point. I'm not ruling it out. I've definitely softened my stance on doing a Platinum Journey bonus episode about Grounded mode, but not anytime soon. Metal Gear Solid 2. Really damn proud of this one. Yeah. Fuckload. Took me 74 hours, 75 hours. Almighty undertaking. Pretty happy with the final video as well that I made. About 30 odd minutes. I think it's pretty decent. That one is the killer. Complete all VR and alternative missions. We're talking, I don't know, 20 or 30 hours for that alone. Absolute killer. And then collecting all the dog tags. Yeah. With ARM though, it was tough. There were moments towards. There are a couple of VR missions that really make you think, okay, this is impossible. They get real tricky. But managed to pull through it. Really happy with that one. Now I've done Metal Gear Solid 2. I've done Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 4 will happen at some point. Metal Gear Solid 5, nope. And there are rumours of Metal Gear Solid 1 getting a remake. I'd be all on board for that. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima. 82%. What have they done to me? I won't go into that, by the way. Again, avoiding spoilers. My thing is, if a game is more than 5 years old, that's the kind of... Unless it's something somebody's about to watch and you don't want to spoil it. I was talking to my cousin about The Godfather, and I've never seen The Godfather or The Godfather Part 2, and he was talking about a bit of it. I was like, no spoilers! It's the thing of, but you've had decades to watch this, it's on you. It was a bit hypocritical on my part. But yeah, I won't go into that. Great game, Ghost of Tsushima. Fantastic worlds. The island is just gorgeous. I like the combat. I end up playing the game on hard. Rarely will I start a game on normal and then up it to hard because I'm enjoying the combat so much. Or I wanted a bit more of a challenge, be a samurai. There is a lethal difficulty, which is kind of what it sounds like. And there is a New Game Plus. I think I got the thing for just buying a thing. So I'd probably do that in my own time, just for fun. And play on lethal. And mainline it, not liberate any of the bandit camps or anything like that. Just go through the center story. But not yet. I only finished it in the last year. Give it a while to settle. Maybe in the lead up to the sequel, you'll get an itch to replay this game. It's like with Horizon. Horizon Forbidden West is coming out later on this year. And yeah, in the build up to that, when they gave away Horizon Zero Dawn for free, I was like, let me do a New Game Plus and that thing. Oh, cool. It comes with Frozen Wilds. Nice. Legends mode, which is online. I won't be doing any of this. Multiplayer, folks, it's just not what I play games for. I know it is for some folks, not for me. For me, single player, absorbed in that world, let everything else around me fade away. God of War 2. I've done God of War, done God of War 2, did the new God of War. Going to do God of War 3 next year, early next year. Going to do the new God of War next year as well. And this year, where is it? It's over there. I'm going to be going back through God of War 2018 on Give Me God of War difficulty. Really get to master that combat. Because I'm still stuck with this style of combat. The fluid Blades of Chaos. That's my preferred way of playing a God of War game. But that's not the way it is now. It's the axe. So I've got to master the axe in time for the follow-up. Got to get on board with the new Kratos. I like the new Kratos. I like the new story. I like the new characters. I like the new setting. Don't like the new combat. So got to get over the hump and start to understand it and appreciate it. Little Nightmares. Now, folks, we are delving off the path of what's been on the show. Little Nightmares I bought, I don't know, like €4 or €5. All these indie games are on sale. Played through the... Oh yeah, so I've got 20... Yeah, I just played through the story. These are all DLC. I enjoyed it. Good atmosphere. I think parts of it dragged. Some of the retrying of a sequence, failed a sequence. You got to retry it, and some of the colors. It didn't feel quite so fluid control-wise to me. And making a mistake of a thing you think, oh well, I only missed that because I blame the game more than I blame myself for a mistake, and then having to redo it, or get to the end of a sequence and not immediately understand what I'm meant to do next, but it's too late, so I'm dead. That sort of stuff bugged me. But overall, really good game. Fantastic ending. Finishes strong. Nice, interesting final boss fight. Yeah, well worth checking out. Listen, you may have gripes about a game, but if you are interested in the sequel and playing it at some point, the original game has done its job. I hope to get around to Little Nightmares 2 at some point down the line. What Remains of Edith Finch? Really enjoyed this. As you can see, I got all the trophies despite it not even having a platinum. Oh. I almost clicked into it. But I did. You won't see that. Really great story. It's... See, this is the thing of, I don't want to spoil any of it for you in case you haven't played it yet. Really good game. Story driven. But the way the stories are told are done in, I'd say, a unique way. I don't want to say too much about Remains of Edith Finch. It's short. It's about a 2-hour game. So play it yourself. I think if you have PS Plus, it was on PS Plus a long time ago. So just re-download it while we're checking out. One of the most memorable games I've played in the past year. Resident Evil 2. No, I won't go into that. I won't go into it. There might be spoilers for end of game stuff. That was good. Much preferred it over Resident Evil 1 remake, because I know it was sticking to the original style of it, fixed cameras, tank controls. This was more of a modern interpretation of Resident Evil 2. I liked it. Gorgeous as well, really pretty looking game. It was nice. Resident Evil 2, trophy list wise, damn good. I like the way the first playthrough was about 7 hours, and then there's a trophy for speedrunning it under 2.5 or something like that, and you begin to realise, alright, I can get damn good, and the trophy list is encouraging me to get damn good. I liked it. One of the better trophy lists I've seen. Early next year, Resident Evil 3, and then the year after that, 4. If 4 remake isn't done by then, I'll do the original 4. It doesn't have a platinum trophy, so I'll call it Platinum Journey Bonus. I know folks are currently enjoying Resident Evil 8. It'll be a while before I get to it, but happy to see the series still going strong. Soma! Ladies and gentlemen, we have the first game I ended up not liking. I won't go into trophies because it's full of spoilers. Great setting, intriguing story, but the combat I hate. So it's most of a kind of a mystery of you waken in this underwater facility, stuff has gone wrong, it's trying to understand what has happened. Certainly inspired by Bioshock, that's for sure. But then there's these creatures, these robotic creatures that will hunt you. If they catch you, it's game over. And there's this weird distortion effect that happens when they get near you. Pain in my fucking head. You can turn it down and even disable stuff. And at the beginning of the game, it asks you, do you want to play it on easy, where you can't die at all? Or do you want to play it on normal? And only normal, it says, this is how the developers intended the game to be played. So I picked that one, and you can't change it. So now I'm stuck getting killed by these things. Yeah, I like the story, I like the intrigue. I could not care less about any of the things hunting me. I just want to get on with it. I want to see where the story was going. But then I found, alright, so I'm about a third of the way in. Do I restart it on easy? But then I still have combat stuff along the way. In the end, I went onto the Wikipedia and just read the plot summary and went, yeah, that looks really cool. Pity I'll never play it. Yeah. Allow the players to always change difficulty in the middle of the game, especially when it's as drastic as you can never die, you can absolutely die. That'd be my recommendation. Greece. Beautiful game. Beautiful. Mechanically quite simple. It's left, right, jump. The art style is magnificent. You awaken as this girl trying to bring colour back to the world. So each stage is bring back red, bring back blue, bring back green. And at the end of the stage, when the colour comes back, it's this symphony coming together of music and colours, and it's gorgeous. And it kind of builds and builds and builds. Does introduce some interesting kind of puzzles along the way that might twist your brain a bit. Not too much. I didn't consult a guide at any point, so you should be okay. Yeah. Again, short game, I'd say 2.5, 3 hours. You could take still images from it at any point and go wallpaper. Hollow Knight. No, I won't go into. I'm so close to the end. I end up enjoying this way more than I thought. On one of my, you take a day off in the week, and instead of drinking alcohol, I sat down and played Hollow Knight for 8 hours. And then I remember that it was bright when I started, and when I finished, it was dark, and I went, that was my day off. I just played Hollow Knight all day. Yeah, it gives you just enough to keep going to like, oh, what's over here? What's over here? You find new area, you find a new enemy, you find new items, new equipment. It's wonderful. Now, I'm right at the end. Folks who have played it, there's a boss that does double damage, and I'm kind of at him and I'm tired. Like, can we just get to the ending? So I've got to defeat him, and then there's, I think, maybe one or two other bosses, and then that's the game. But overall, highly recommend it. Yeah, time will fly. Time will fly. When you go, oh, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. No, I'll never get the platinum, by the way. I looked it up. I have no interest. Ratchet and Clank. I tried it again. I think before I didn't unlock any trophies. So when it was out free for the Play at Home initiative by PlayStation, I got it, re-downloaded it, played it, didn't get very far. I'm maybe an hour in. I just went, this is boring. I found the gameplay to be slow. Maybe it's because we're retreading old plot points that I'm so familiar with. The story, no interest. Yeah. Nope. Now, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now that's exciting. Couldn't get into it. I think I've played every Ratchet and Clank game, except All for One. Yeah, I've played every single one of them. This one, can't finish. Not interested. That's okay. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is gonna... What? Oh yeah, I saw the gameplay demo recently. Oh, now that's a PS5 game. Bloodborne. Oh yes, sorry. I did the old Hunters. So now I have 100%. Rarely do I get a game's DLC. Actually pay for DLC. I think the last one was maybe The Last of Us for Left Behind. Oh no, I got that in the remastered version. Yeah, Bloodborne's cool. I'm really happy with that bonus episode I did for the old Hunters. It's kind of slower paced. Take more time in the world, appreciate it. Understand that might be the last ever visit to Yharnam. From Software haven't made any indication that they're making a sequel. Or there's been rumours for eons. So, one last go around Yharnam. It was nice. A little bit sad at the end knowing that might be it. But I will reserve that there's always the possibility of going back through Yharnam and attempting a completely different type of build for the character. For example, I believe it's called a strength build, which is put all of your points into your right hand weapons so you can smash people in the head. But then there's an arcane build, which is kind of magic. And I saw clips of people who had maxed that out and it looks freaky. Like a completely different type of game. So I'm keeping that in mind of, hey, you know what? Looking for something more to do in Bloodborne, I can do an arcane build and play the game that way. Then I'll get real sad that there's no more Bloodborne. Abzu. Beautiful. Just calming, peaceful, easy, but nice. It's made by the same folks who made Journey. Not exactly all the same folks, because it was that game company who made Journey, but I don't think they exist anymore. And now this was Giant Squid Studios. But some of the same people who were part of the original team. And you can definitely see it has that same sort of feel as Journey does. I didn't enjoy it as much as Journey because I don't care for underwater animals. Didn't find it as visually interesting, but sit down for an evening. It's a short game, 2 hours. Just put that on and feel at peace. One great soundtrack as well. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Fuck you. Oh. I research every platinum I do. Quite intensely. I rule out anything that has grindy multiplayer, not doing that. I rule out stuff that's way too hard, 10 out of 10 difficulties, that sort of stuff. This was meant to be about a 4 to, 5 out of 10. And then 26 hours to maximum 40 hours. Took me at least 50. The in-game playtime says 50, but there's time of playing it for the stunt jumps and then going, I've missed one? Have I missed one? And then bringing up the laptop and going, okay, well, me watching a stunt jump with the game pause and going, okay, and then restarting the game and continuing and then going, well, that didn't work. Pause the game. What's going on here? Yeah. An almighty grind. And then there's a trophy for achieving Godfather rating. Pain in the fucking hole. Own Platinum Vice City. Play it. Enjoy it. I wouldn't recommend the Platinum. You could ruin the game for yourself. You really could. I might do San Andreas at some point. Maybe. I won't do 3. I won't do 4 or 5. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. It was going for €3. I could not buy it. I've always been interested in playing the Tomb Raider trilogy, especially now with the drought for Uncharted. Although I am doing Uncharted The Lost Legacy in a couple of months, so excited for that. But yeah, playing as Lara, a couple of things I've noticed. Number 1, the way she jumps is interesting. That you will jump as Lara and you can maneuver mid-air. Now that's she kind of floats. It's interesting. I like the bow. She doesn't kill as many people as Drake. Not so far. I think I'm about an hour and a half in. And at a certain point in the first game, she takes a battering. She's falling down stuff. She's getting impaled. She's getting beaten around. One guy gets very rapey. And then at a certain point, she steps in a bear trap. And it becomes almost comical. Because then she's sitting on her arse trying to fend off wolves with the bow, with their foot stuck in a bear trap. I'm thinking, God damn it. How much can one human being suffer? I am looking forward to her kind of not suffering as much as the game goes on. But yeah, she's taken a battering that it becomes how I would have been in the fetal position crying a long time ago. So fair play to her for sticking it out. Not only for that game, but then 2 more. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the regular globetrotting, tomb hunting, all that sort of stuff, and just kind of the story. What's Lara Croft been up to for this generation? Even though that did start in the PS3. But yeah, never played Shadow of the Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider. Never even finished that back on PS3. So yeah, nice little story. I'm playing on easy. I'm not even paying attention to... I don't want a challenge. I want to just say, hey, what's this world like? What are these characters up to? It's nice so far. Shadow of the Colossus. I won't go into trophies because I might have spoilers for sure. Because the trophies are basically the names of the colossi you defeat. Of which I've defeated 10. One, those bronzes for shining your light on them. To kind of identify its weak spots. And then the other 10 are for defeating colossi. There's 16, so I've killed 10. Yeah, I'm liking it. Not initially, it took a bit of... the controls still didn't... This is my problem with it back in the day. The controls were so obtuse to me, I just threw my hands up and went, I'm not playing it. And for the remake, they are easier. But still, kind of some of the way the characters jiggle, and even the horse is difficult to maneuver at times. But I'm getting much more accustomed to things and understanding little bits like, hey, when you're on a colossus and you're meant to grab onto its fur when it shakes, even though it doesn't look like it, you can run on top of their back when they're moving around. And that was a big aha moment for me of, oh right, this is much, I get it, so I can, yeah, okay. Getting used to it. But I'm going to have about 4 or 5 playthroughs, so I'll be a master of it by the end. Looking forward to it. It's going to make for one damn pretty episode of Platinum Journey. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 2021 update. A lot of cool games. And I made an effort to play games that weren't on the show. You can tell exactly the moment this happened, which was here. At that point I went, okay, I should probably play stuff that's not just for the show. Because there is a thing of guilt. Of, well, I'm spending 2 hours on Little Nightmares, I should be spending 2 hours on Resident Evil 2 instead. Or well, I played through Edith Finch and I'm getting trophies, I'm doing replays, but I should be doing this instead, right? But I think can't always play games for trophies. Otherwise the the view gets quite narrow. Gotta sit back and enjoy the full breadth of games, because it informs your experience with gaming in general. As in, I don't know, you learn more. Like, to not play Edith Finch would be a crime, just because it doesn't have a platinum. Yeah. So I like it. That's why doing the kind of small indie games, well, that wasn't small. That was. It's kind of nice. Just kind of getting back into, hey, you know, at the end of the day, for an hour or two, it is fine to play games for leisure. Provided I've already spent 2 to 3 hours grinding on Bloodborne or Vice City. Okay, hope you're keeping well. I've been babbling for longer than I thought, so thanks for sticking around. Yeah, until next year, take care.